A very good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Don't forget, drop me a like in down below. Would appreciate that. You regular viewers always appreciate that. Just drop us a like in. Helps me out greatly. If you want to drop us in a good morning in the comments or a thumbs up or a smiley face as well, that's always a great thing to do on this wonderful Wednesday. In this wonderful world we live in of ups and downs and things. And on that note, let's talk about excuses this morning and why we make excuses with the, in brackets, fight me. Now, I've been in the fitness industry for 11 years, and prior to that, obviously, I lost my own weight, started that 15 years ago, and prior to that, I was a massive excuse maker, and I'm still an excuse maker nowadays, with certain things. And I think we do it as humans. So I did a video the other week that's basically said, first and foremost, you need to forgive yourself for making excuses, particularly if you've got a legitimate reason to do it. So if you've got a particular hard thing, so say, for example, you've got a lot going on in your life, real quite serious things that are going to impact you a lot, and you have, say, a bad day, bad week on food, absolutely fine, no problem at all, because, you know, you're going through a bit of a hard time, and that happens to all of us. But the key to getting through that is condensing it, because you've got to realise that life goes on, okay? So irrespective of what's going on in your life, life is going to carry on. Robert Frost, the poet, said, if I can sum life up in 3 words, it goes on, and it does. So whilst you've got to allow yourself a little bit of compassion, a little bit of self-care, you've got to realise that stuffing your face, drinking, sedating, doing nothing isn't self-care, that's sedation, which is okay for a time, but if you keep doing that, well, you may have seen the outcome yourself in terms of weight gain and health problems. So that's the first thing. The reason why we make excuses, and I've heard a lot of excuses over the last 11 years, I've made a lot of excuses in my life, particularly prior to me being a better human being, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, is, and if you understand this, it's going to help you to understand why you make them, and not beat yourself up for doing it. We only ever do what's important to us. So human beings, we do what's important to us. So if you are let's look at diet and exercise, for example. Let's make it simple in terms of what I do. So if you are saying to yourself, well, I should be eating better, but I'm not, it's because it's not important to you. Because if it was, you would, if it was important to you. And the reason why I've put the brackets fight me is because people will turn around to me and go, yeah, John, it is important to me. No, it's not. If it was, you'd do it. Because look at the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, particularly parents. I've got to pick my son up this afternoon from nursery. If I forgot to pick my son up, yeah, and said, oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, well. People would go, oh, my God, that's terrible. I won't, because it's important to me. So and that illustrates the points, but people will go, oh, yeah, I was supposed to be good this week on my diet, but I haven't been. It's because it's not important to you. You know, if being in a shape, physical shape and mental shape that you're comfortable with, and that's, you know, in context to you, is important to you, you'll do it. Simple as that. So you've got to ask yourself, why is it not important to you? So a better question to ask is, so for example, is, let's say a classic excuse I get is money, right? So can't afford X, Y, okay? But if we actually got a calculator and sat down with the individual in question and worked out where they're spending the money, and then said, well, you're spending this money here, you could maybe allocate this over to yourself for health and fitness, it's because the money that they're spending over here is important to them, and this isn't. But without that level of focus, people just use that as a quick fix for an excuse. They'll just go, oh, I can't afford it. Another classic, I haven't got time. Yet they'll make time for the things that are important to them. So if you've got your diary out, your schedule out, and again, a lot of people who are busy haven't got schedules. One of my mentors always says, if someone says they're too busy, get them to show you the schedule. And loads of people will look at you like they'll go, what? What's a schedule? If you haven't got a schedule, how do you know you're busy? We schedule in things that are important to us, and we do things that are important to us. So that's why we make excuses, particularly around exercise and diet. I haven't got time to exercise. No, it's not important to you. Especially in the information age, where you've got free workouts you can do at home, anywhere, body weight, don't need equipment, don't need to do anything. You walking, running, outdoors, whatever. You've got the options. It's just that it's not important enough to you. And if that little voice in your head is going, yeah, it is, but that's your problem. Because it can't be, because you do it. But don't beat yourself up over this stuff. Don't attack me. Don't attack me over it. Go get a pen and paper and write down if you're not in the shape you want to be in, if you're not eating well, if you're not feeling well, if you're not these things, and it's your own doing, as in from a dietary standpoint or an exercise activity standpoint, write down, why is this not important to me? And list the reasons and do it honestly. And then you'll start to understand why you don't do it. Because it's not important. And you have to make it important. But that involves work. Self-analysis, looking at yourself and saying, why am I not doing this? And it involves work. Yeah? That's quite some people would say that's a harsh message. It's not, it's true. We always do. Human beings are self-interest creatures. We do what's important to us. And if you're not doing it, it's because it's not important to you. So you need to find a way to make it important to you. Otherwise, no matter how good the program is, and I've done this with people, no matter how good your program is, you'll never ever stick to it because it's not important to you. There you go. So don't forget to drop me a like in down below or unfollow me if you didn't like that message today. But I'd always appreciate a like down the bottom. Just click the button, thumbs up in the comments or a smiley face in the comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your biggest takeaway from the video in the comments as well if you're happy to do that. And of course, if you do want to get started on your journey on our 6-week transformation program, women-only program, group fitness, outdoors, COVID secure, rock and roll, all you need to do, comment below with 6 weeks. Not comfortable doing that, fine. Head over to the page where you're watching this video. Click the WhatsApp button on the page. Drop me a message over there. We can have a chat and see if and how we can help. Let's have a good day.